Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Tezlyn Figaro was recently on a CNN panel with Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank. Woo! Tore that boy head off his shoulders. Yeah, fam. I guess he tried to hit her with the proverbial, if you don't like it, leave. And man, it wasn't pretty. Check it out.
And even doing the comparison, saying, would you rather go to China or not go to China? Are you a veteran? So that means you never raised the pause means no. So that means he never raised his hand to say, I'm willing to die for this country. Let's not talk about just the Dow. Not only was I willing to die for this country, both of my grandparents were.
Thank you for your service.
That's right. Thank me for my service. So how dare he sit here and ask me. So how dare he sit here and ask me would I rather be in China when I was willing to die for the country that is locking up the people that we're talking about. There are more black men enslaved than those who were enslaved in 1850 in the prison system right now in 1850 that did not actually get the due process that you guys are talking about, that actually had to take plea bargains because they could not afford adequate law attorneys, which is why I'm in law school, by the way, right now. Shout out to FAMU. So to sit here and ask me, what country do I live in? It's called America. You can't point nothing out.
I do. I want to say this. If you were on the Abby Phillip show Chinese version, you wouldn't be here tomorrow.
But I'm not the Chinese version. I'm here with the American version.
All right.
The black. I know, and I'm saying it, and I'm saying it, and I'm enjoying it, and I fought for mine and yours. So thank me for my service.
All right, my friends, listen.
Thank me for my service. I'm not disparaging. I just want you to thank me.
We're going to bring this to a close. I mean, I do think it is worth acknowledging that you don't have to prefer China to say that I want to be able to, in this country, both live in the country and critique it at the same time.
These freedoms
sure.
And be able,
I know. I think that she's actually saying the same thing, that she's expressing her right to criticize.
Nothing's wrong.
And even
I ain't got no problem with that. Say, man, y'all better leave Tezlyn Figaro alone. You cannot win. You're not going to win. I said it once, I said it twice, I said it a million times. She is perhaps the greatest political analyst commentary of our time. Yeah, I know some of y'all ain't gonna like that, but it's hard to beat her, man. It's hard to beat her. Yeah, man. Say, fam, let me tell you something. Abby Phillip is necessary. I absolutely love her energy, her spirit. She's on CNN, and so it's a little questionable, it's CNN, but I guess that's the best you can do when you're talking about dealing with mainstream media. If you're going to be on a large platform, it's hard to get bigger than CNN. And, for them to allow her to voice her opinions consistently the way she does, I don't know what's going on over there, but it's been working. Like, she actually gets to, say what she feels. And a lot of times, most of the times, I would say all the times that I've been watching her so far, over these last year or so, she's been on point. She's been on point. She said, you don't have to prefer China to say, I want to live in this country and still be able to critique it. If you live in this country, you are a citizen of this country. You have a right to critique it. Because the people who are making the decisions at the top affect your life. They affect your family's life, your quality of living. You absolutely have a say-so in the way that they move. You absolutely have a say-so in the way they carry out policy. You absolutely should want a say-so. Some of us think we're not political. I've heard people say, well, I'm not really political. I'm not. Let me tell you something. If you got a heartbeat in America, you political, whether you like it or not. Decisions are being made politically on your behalf, whether you like it or not, whether you get involved in the process or not. Oh, you absolutely are political. Now, you may not be a social justice warrior. You may not even vote. You may not be concerned with going back and forth about this guy over the next guy, or this party over there. You may be totally indifferent. But political decisions are being made on your behalf, whether you like it or not. How many times have you been driving down the street? I don't know why I say down the street. Why not up the street? Up the street, down the street. And you see a building being erected. And you go like, I wonder what they're building. Somebody made a political decision for that building to be there. They had to go into the court system. They had to file papers. They had to have design plans approved. They had to pull permits. They had to get approval from city council, depending on what type of business that they were trying to operate. And it happened on your watch, in your neighborhood, and it absolutely affects you, because the people going in and out of that building are going to, at the very least, have an impact on the streets, on the traffic congestion. And let's say they're going up and down the streets and there's a lot, it's people, let's say it's a trucking company. Well, you know, trucking companies, they leave a lot of potholes on streets that they travel on. They tap a lot of the curbs and stuff. Well, your tax dollars pay for that. So you absolutely want to know who's going in and out of those buildings. They put up a halfway house, or if they put up some type of mental institution right there, or prison, you absolutely, you know, if they have a prison, then prison attracts a certain type of people who come visit prisoners. I'm not saying everybody, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all been to visit prisons, and you know, you see certain people that go in there, they look like they should be locked up too. You know what I'm talking about. It's a certain type of energy, right? And not just for the prisoners, but also for the guards, the people that work in the prisons and stuff. And that means they're in your community. They're going to be using the stores. They're going to be using the gas stations. They're going to be driving up and down the streets. A lot of those type of dudes that work in that industry, they got chips on their shoulders. And that might somehow make its way to your doorstep, or at least to your face. So yeah, you know, what's going on in your neighborhood absolutely affects you, whether you had some input or not. It absolutely affects you. But let's get back to Tezlyn Figaro, one of my favorites. Y'all better leave Tezlyn alone. You can't win against her. She's sharp and she knows her facts, and she stays on top of it. She's going in prepared. You're not going to catch her off guard. And Kevin O'Leary, y'all know Mr. Wonderful Boy, he got a mouthpiece. He already, you know, he's one of those dudes that he's got a heavy memory. You know, he got a memory like an elephant. He go back telling all of these ancient stories and all this stuff. He got a lot of memory. He has a lot of bandwidth, you know, to store memory. So it's very difficult to beat people like that in arguments. But he's no match. Even the great Kevin O'Leary is no match for the great Tezlyn Figaro. I don't really think that you guys understand how valuable Tezlyn Figaro is. And maybe it's because there's so much media in the times that we living in, and everything's happening so fast. It's, you know, you literally have thousands and thousands of media options, right? There's thousands of options, and there's thousands of personalities out there. But she's one of the best. And, you know, when we look back at this time she's going to be one of the ones still standing as far as her legacy. The way that she moves, those conversations that she's had over time, those conversations down the line, when we start talking about history, they're going to stand the test of time, and she's going to be one of those. Everybody's going to be looking at, legend. I'm calling it right now. I'm already saying it. She's a legend. I'm already saying it. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Before I go, I can't help it, fam. I can't help it. When I think about how she demolished Kevin O'Leary, I can't help but go, what happened to that boy? What happened to that boy? No more talk.